Let's get salty!
Hey everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video, and it's been about over a week since our last best decks video, and it was a major patch, and I promised I would give an update on it, and we have seen some developments, further refinements on decks in standard. A lot of the older stuff still really good, but we got some new stuff in here as well, so we'll go through it, whether you want to climb to silver, gold, platinum, diamond, or legend in both standard and wild. And this time I promise I actually have a deck from every class. I included priest this time, I forgot last time. Anyways, if you enjoy the content on the channel, feel like I've earned your subscription, please hit that sub button down below. Give the video likes, it helps the channel out a lot. So starting off, yeah, the king of ladders so far still is the Hagatha Shaman, although it has fallen off a bit. It's pretty targeted. There are counters to it, but it is one of the newer decks, right? I mean, it's got the old shell of Hagatha and all that stuff going on. Of course, Elise on curve is insane. You really want like early Parrot Sanctuary, can be really solid. Getting Flight of the Firehawk or Bird Watching into Bellhop can give you insane early stats. But we have the new card in here like Muradin, which helps you, you know, get some end game lethality with that high King's Hammer. The best card of this all, honestly, though, is the Avatar form with that AoE, and even like Furious Fouls. This version is a lot more aggro than the old Nebula version, and Ziliax has the twin module, perfect module, which, you know, takes the benefit of getting those Wish Upon a Stars and all those Turbulence buffs and all that. But got another new card in here like Static Shock. The best lists have already cut like the 2-mana 3/4 that draws a card because it's just not consistent enough. So I did say it's kind of like a newer thing, but it really isn't, right? It's basically Nebula Shaman with a lower curve and a few newer cards, or a couple newer cards, but it gives a better flavor, and I always enjoy this deck. It feels like a more, you know, mid-range deck. It does some scammy stuff with Sanctuary and Shutterblock, but overall, to me, if this is the top deck, at least I'm kind of stomaching it a little bit better, and it's very counterable, at least by a few decks that we'll talk about. Aggro Demon Hunter, still really good. It's been nerfed a couple times already with like Battle Fiend and Sock Puppet Slither Spear, but you see Slumbering Sprite seeing some meta play, getting that cheap Dormant minion with that 1-mana hero power to awaken it, and you have the Perennial Serpent, something that's really good to cheat out. We have Ziliax in here with the Haywire module and Power module to create, you know, if it's not killed, it's 10 attack, you're probably killing your opponent, but we've seen this deck for quite a while. Also, Time Lost Glaive, I believe, is another new addition. Is that from this set? Is that, let's double check. It is an Across the Timeways card. 1-mana deal 4, pretty good. Maybe get a demon that's useful, probably not. Regardless, it's a good, cheap, early weapon, and yeah, this deck always doing really well. Another Demon Hunter deck that has really emerged as a strong counter to the top Shaman deck, and just good overall because it, you know, cheats a bunch of mana and abuses Ravenous Fellhunter, which I still think should require 2 different death rattles, but whatever, it is what it is. But yeah, Blob of Tar, we're bringing back Blob of Tar a ton, and Shaman doesn't have a great way to deal with it. That's why people are starting to tech in Hex. We had Hex in our list there, at least one of them. And yeah, you have the scam of like Cliff Dive, you can hit Illadaris, you can hit Magtheridons, and then you have like Clefaro in here, which can give you a full board if you got like the tokens going, whether it's like Insect Claw or like the Dread Seats and all of that. You can get a bunch of Illadaris, you can get Magtheridons, you can get Ravenous Fellhunters or Blobotars, right? Those are all pretty darn good hits, and of course return policy you can trigger with Blobotar, Ravenous Fellhunter, and yeah, this is one of the better counters to Shaman out there. So if you're looking to beat Shaman, this is certainly a deck that you can give a go. Double Blood Unholy DK, still really good. I think this list was taken from Theo. I'm not entirely sure if it's card for card, but he's running double Corpse Explosion going for the clears, and yeah, it's semi-control. To me, it just feels like a very top heavy mid-range style of deck where you have lots of value. You got Elise, you got Grifta, you got one Husk. This is definitely Theo's list because he was running Husk, and I tried this list out. I went like 50-50 with it in top 200, and Husk saved me against a Protoss rogue, so that was kind of nice. And overall, yeah, very similar to the old Double Blood Unholy deck. It's got literally the one new card in Husk. I think everything else is basically the same as before. We're still, except we're not running Fyrakk anymore. That's been cut, but you still have, like Ysera, just that extra mana can be super helpful, and you can Maladar it out, right? You can Maladar Ysera, which is really strong. No giants in this list, but overall, yeah, it's kind of control-y mid-range style with your Ziliax being the twin module, perfect module. I always really enjoy this deck. I just wish it had a bit more spice to it, a bit newer. You could also play the Heron DK. We recommended, I think, in the last video, but it's really not nearly as good as this deck, unfortunately. So until things change, I will say probably ditch the Fabled for now, unless you just, like that deck and you want to play it. Still legend capable, but this is definitely the better of the Death Knight decks. Warrior, really good in the meta, at least at top legend. A lot of people have been getting like rank 1, top 10 with it, and much more on a less greedy build where it's all about just removing, gaining armor, and just stalling until you get that quest reward, because that typically win. We don't even have like Murzon. The infinite damage is not particularly required. We do have some like value generation with Marin that could be good card draw, but overall, yeah, you're relying on like Elise a lot of the time to win the game, and also just, yeah, a bunch of clears, Hostile Invader and all that. But you do have a significant amount of new cards in this deck, like Unleash the Crocodile is really good. We also have Precursory Strike is a super solid card. For Glory, 0 mana card draws, pretty darn good. And basically new, the Great Jakarix in the last mini set, really solid, especially against Shaman right now. This can do some insane swings where you clear basically the whole board, and they gotta deal with this giant dragon that's gonna keep clearing the board. So yeah, if you're looking for, again, control options, Death Knight and Warrior are by far the best way to go. Discover Hunter, I put a little bit lower, even though I think it is the best deck in Hearthstone. If played optimally, it's just not that easy to play optimally. And there's like so many different builds of this deck. Like there are so many different versions. I went with the most played one at Diamond through Legend with the highest win rate. There's like over 30,000 games with this build. I think the only new card we have in here is Sylvanas, and it is incredible. Amazing new card that you can go into any hunter deck. She is so freaking good. And overall, yeah, you can get like infinite value basically with your Rungari Scouts, with your Niall, cheat out alien counters to survive. You can get a lot of Incendia stuff going on. You can get the Grifta Amulets, get the damage going on. You can just OTK with Neri the Crater. There are a ton of different lines of this deck, which makes it a little bit more difficult to play than the average one. I haven't touched it too much myself. I actually, if you notice, I have the Diamond Sylvanas. We did a sub goal on my channel there. I'm like, if we get this raised, I will buy it and then we'll play it on stream. We have yet to do that. So today on twitch.tv/Zeddy, not sure when I'll go live, but if you want to hit over, follow the stream, we're going to finally play some Discover Hunter this week. So we will use the insanely overpriced Sylvanas that my Twitch chat paid for, Copium. We're going to go with that. And Ziliax as, yeah, twin module, perfect module to try and stay alive. Protoss Rogue seems to be the best rogue deck overall. People are either playing this or Cycle Rogue, and I can't stand Cycle Rogue. I can't stand any rogue deck with Step and Prep, so all of them these days. But I thought I'd recommend this one. Got a bit of new cards in here like Deja Vu. You've got Garona as well, which can be pretty good. Cycle through, draw those legendaries for your combo, right? And the combo in this one, you want to discount your Protoss cards, whether it be Artanis or Blink. And then basically with Dios, you can get those end of turn effects, right? The Templars deal 8 at the end of the turn. It'll double up on that. And you got Elise going. You can copy one of those. If you have like the Scoundrel, Dios, and Sonya going on, you might be able to get even more. So this deck has a ton of lethality burst to the late game with those cards, and you have some early game, your usual Space Rock Collector. Tolgath is in here. Definitely struggles more the early game, but can have some pretty disgusting late game plays. And our Ziliax again, twin module, perfect module. Next, we have a deck that's just emerged like the last week or so. I think Regis uploaded a video on it. Really good at Diamond through Legend, and if you get to higher ranks, it really falls off, as this deck has almost no early game. It is Aura Paladin, but rebuilt around stuff like Tank Janir, right? This card gives you a 7/7 tank with Divine Shield, can be really gross, and if they don't remove it, you can cubicle it, you can buff it with a Spike Ridge Steed with like all these auras. Like it really is trying to stick a big thing, or if it doesn't do that, you can go wide with Crusader's Aura. So turns 1 and 2 and 3, there's a good chance you're gonna miss your early game, but you play really annoying stuff. And then of course you have Gelbin of Tomorrow, which plays all those auras, making the board even more ridiculously hard to remove. And Toreth, right? The whole, you got to hit Divine Shields 3 times. Really insane mid-range deck, right? But the early game's lacking. But after that, if you can survive, it could do really well. It's just at higher ranks, people typically can punish you pretty hard for that or know how to play around it a bit more. But yeah, Diamond through Legend, this deck, by the way, Twin Module, Perfect Module, this deck's doing extremely well. So maybe give it a go if you have the cards. Just be warned that it does seem to fall off when you get to like Legend and like top 1000 Legend. If that's your goal, the deck falls off significantly there. Dragon Warrior still good, not as good as the top decks. If it curves out really well, like the Sanguine Depths into the, the Stone Carver can be really solid. We got the Fabled card in here, which is just super sick and awesome. You got Dragon Package. Feels just like a really honest deck, and it gets punished a lot for feeling like an honest deck, but sometimes you just snowball the value you can get with like Dark Gifts and all that can be really good. And I've had so many comments of people that just really like this deck, really like to play it, so I have to recommend it. It's not top tier, but it's like tier 2 and tier 3, certainly legend capable, and is a ton of fun to play. I have to recommend a mage deck, and sadly Protoss Mage is the best deck for mage. The Arcane Mage, probably at higher ranks, might have a better chance, but overall it's typically this. I mean, if you want to play Protoss Mage, go for it. This seems to be one of the better lists out there, and Dios is an addition to it this set to double those Colossus. But I know most people don't like this deck. I'm just going to throw it out there. If you want to give it a go, it is there for you to try. And Alonius Druid, still probably the best Druid deck. Last time we recommended Aviana. We'll go a bit more try-hard here. Again, not super top tier, like hovering just over 50%. Druid really not doing great this patch. It's the same builds we've seen for a while, although Krona is thrown into this for a little bit of high roll potential. Maybe you hit one of those combo pieces, but overall, unless you have the cards, I would not go out of my way to play in this. And again, Ziliax, Twin Module, Perfect Module, pretty common choice by now. We have Priest, which I remember this time. It's basically between Zarimi and Protoss. Zarimi seems to be a bit more popular and a bit more successful, and it runs more new cards like Whelp of the Infinite, Portal, Vanguard, as well, of course, the Infinite Damage card in Murazond. But yeah, spam dragons, try and stay alive, play Zarimi, get a Murazond out there if you got enough mana, right? You have Ysera to get up to 15, or maybe can manipulate a little bit with Narrowlax and try and kill your opponent that way. And it's, been the same deck for quite a while, and it is effective, but not top tier whatsoever. And lastly, Warlock, by far the biggest loser of the latest patch, losing the best deck in Quest Warlock, and its control took a huge hit with the location nerf that, I don't know, Pain Warlock, it's like around 50-ish%. And it falls off super hard as you climb. Very aggressive. It's got some of the new cards like Entropic Continuity, as well as I believe a 2-mana 4/4 in here, Twilight Time Hopper, Takian Barrage. You can cheat out like, Devious Coyote. Basically caps out at Fate Breaker. We're not even running the 5-mana 10/10, and Ziliax has the Pylon module and Ticking module, but definitely do not go out of your way to crafting this deck at all. It's just if you really want to play Warlock, this is like the best aggro option out there. I wanted to give a deck for every class. Not going to do that in Wild, where Warlock is really good there, whereas in Warlock has Egg Warlock, probably the best deck in the format, where all you got to do is draw your Egg of Kelos, right? Get that card out, and then play Umbra and kill off any of the eggs. You'll spawn a 20/20. You can bring them back with like Phylactery, and you can also ooze and push a ton of damage. If a mage is freezing you, you can Smothering Starfish and still attack, and you're consistently getting 20/20s by like turns 4 and 5, and most decks can't deal with that. And you got healing, removal, all that stuff while you get to that point. And you can also Sacrificial Summoner your Egg, which will always give you Umbra, so as long as you got a mana left over, or not even, you have a Ritual Doom, just kill it. It's pretty gross. I haven't made a video on it. I might actually at some point. We haven't done gameplay in a while. Let me know which of these decks you'd like to see a gameplay video, by the way. I'm not sure what people are really wanting right now. Pirate, Aggro, Demon Hunter, still good. It's the same thing forever. But this is like the highest win rate list I saw. So if you want to play as Smork, go for fast games. Pirate DH, still pretty good. And Kurtrus is a really cool card if you have it, but definitely do not go out of your way to craft it. It's the only deck it kind of sees playing. Big Shaman I have recommended 8 billion times and will continue to as Muck Morpher is broken with things like Gavel, things like Fairy Tale Forest, and then you get a big thing. It sticks and you buff it, murder your opponent. If it doesn't work, well, go next, try again, and you will likely climb to legend in no time. Libram Paladin, one of the best decks in Wild again forever. Keep saying it. Aldor Attendant, Star Slicer, cheat a billion mana, play a lot of 0 mana cards, kill your opponent, maybe with like a Chill Blade Champion with like Lanessa and a ton of buffs. It's very, very good. And lastly, I'll go with the deck that mostly got me to legend. I finished the climb with the Egg Warlock because I just wanted to get it done with. Is Astral Communion. Druid is a legitimate deck. We've recommended versions before, but I actually, it's just so fun to turn your brain off and just high roll, where you just YOLO Communion, whether it's on, earliest I've done it is on turn 2 with like Innervate, or Coin Innervate Astral Communion, and then just play big stuff and try and win. ETC's got King Togwoggle, Reflections Fruit. You're asking why Togwoggle? Well, sometimes with Azalina being a card in your deck, you can just steal their deck and win that way. And Azalina is just a nice card refill. If you top deck it, just steal your opponent's hand. Sometimes that's good. Or you just play like Eonar, Ziliax with Twin Module, Perfect Module, you know, just big dumb things and do degenerate stuff when you have like 14 mana on turn 3 and 4. It's so dumb. It is so dumb, but I find it very addicting to play a deck that is just, it's just absurd. It shouldn't be competitive, which makes me worry, but it kind of is. And it's probably only going to get better when they keep making cards like Wave Shipping and all that. Anyways, that's it. Again, we probably won't do another deck recommendation video until something happens in the game, whether it's a balance patch or like new cards added in an event or whatever, right? I guess the mini set in January. Regardless, hopefully these decks can help you guys climb. And if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends. Hey everyone, Zeddy here. You know I use HS Replay every single time I load up Hearthstone, and I've been using the Hearthstone deck tracker ever since it launched and never switched. The HS Replay tier list is great to understand how the meta looks like, and I use it all the time to make my deck recommendations, and as well, of course, you know, to figure out what I should be complaining about. The Hearthstone deck tracker is constantly evolving and adding features to help you during your games. It saves your card collection so you know what decks you can build, or perhaps how much dust you need to spend to get it. This is why I can always find the deck for all the modes I play, which is standard, wild, and oh yeah, well, let's not talk about all the other modes that it'd be a twist to talk about anything else. Try the deck tracker today. It's free to download, free to use, and unlike this video, it has no ads. Help me not go baroque.